Oh man, I stepped in shit.
Oh, wait, never mind. It's just Mirror Force.
Welcome to Masturbate, a brand new series on this channel that I'm going to be starting, where I'm essentially just going to go through a bunch of really notorious, well-known bait cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! And just make fun of them for 10 minutes or so, with the intended goal basically being to just stop a few of you guys from actually playing these notoriously garbage cards. So as this is the first episode, I'd really appreciate some feedback down below on things you liked, things you didn't like, all that kind of stuff, and if you did enjoy it, remember to leave a like. Also remember to subscribe, as that lets me know you guys are enjoying it and want to see future installments later down the line. So without further ado, let's get into today's episode, which is going to be all about a card that no matter what format I'm playing, whether that be Master Duel, Duel Links, or even IRL, I don't actually have any examples for this one. But I do know people are playing this card, as just one quick glance at YGO Pro's search feature, looking through the meta decks, going for Mirror Force, you'll see quite a few people clearly don't understand what meta means. But the point is, a lot of them are playing Mirror Force, so today I'm going to convince you guys that card, and just about every other form of it, is complete and utter garbage. So what exactly makes these cards so bad? And to clarify, cards. Because I'm not just talking about Mirror Force, I'm also talking about your Dark Mirror Force, your Blazing Mirror Force, your Quaking Mirror Force, your Radiant Mirror Force, your Storming Mirror Force, your Drowning Mirror Force, your Mirror Force Launcher, and of course, who could forget the Mirror Force Dragon? What the fuck? So to put it simply, all these cards are considered bad because they are all considered battle traps. And if you don't know what a battle trap is, it's basically a trap card that's only usable when your opponent tries to battle you. So for example, Wall Disruption. This is a battle trap, as when your opponent tries to battle you, you can reduce the attack of all of your opponent's monsters. Whereas a card like Karma Cut isn't a battle trap, as basically whenever you feel like it, you can just banish one of your opponent's monsters. And the difference between these two cards is astronomical, as one of them is actually useful and can be used whenever you feel like it to stop your opponent doing whatever they feel like doing, and the other trap card basically just sort of lets your opponent play the game, and then just sort of hopes to deal with it later. And as you guys are probably well aware, it's generally not best to just keep postponing your problems. Your average Mirror Force gameplay should look something like this. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to normal summon out Trickstar Licorice. Any response? No, you're good. Okay, then I'll special summon out Trickstar Corobane. Any response? No, you're good to go. Alright, I'm going to take my two monsters, I'm going to link summon out into a copy of Nightmare Phoenix. Any responses? If your opponent is playing literally any background removal at all, would that be a Nightmare Unicorn, a Nightmare Phoenix, a Baron de Fleur, or literally any in-archetype removal in the entirety of Yu-Gi-Oh!, which, let's be honest here, I'm pretty sure nearly every single archetype in the game has some form of removal within it, and if your opponent is playing any archetype in Yu-Gi-Oh!, the chance of that Mirror Wall resolving all of a sudden becomes pretty similar to the chance of your dad coming home after you went out to get milk 15 years ago. Yeah. And I haven't even mentioned any of the cards that just flat out negate you. Things like your Borreload Savage Dragon, your Sprite Carrot, or cards that just flat out ignore the destruction effect of Mirror Force. Things like your Borreload Dragon, things like your Dingirsu, which Duel Links players are probably pretty familiar with by now. Anything summoned off of IP Masquerena, there is such a large list of cards that just either negate it, flat out ignore it, or just remove it before it resolves, if you let your opponent just flat out play the game. It is always better to prevent the problem or disrupt the problem rather than trying to deal with the problem later down the line. It's always better to wear the condom rather than having to pay for the child support. So basically, you should always be playing disruptive traps, not be playing these shitty battle traps. And this goes for absolutely every single deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! There are no exceptions, because I always see two main arguments. The first one being, I play so many trap cards, there is no possible way my opponent's going to be able to remove them all. This is such a silly argument. Why would you even run the risk of that? Why would you even run the risk that your opponent actually does have enough answers to the amount of back row you have set? It's just a silly thought to have. Why not just play a whole bunch of back row that stops your opponent ever getting to a point where they can remove all your back row? It just makes way more sense. Also, a lot of people seem to think that just because they have so much back row, the singular Cosmic Cyclone your opponent is activating is all of a sudden just completely worthless. Well, I bet you've all had this thought go through your head. They've activated Cosmic Cyclone. You've gone, oh my god, I really hope that Cosmic is going to hit my Mirror Force. Because otherwise, you damn well know that Cosmic Cyclone might just hit one of your important Floodgates or one of your other important Disruption cards that is actually going to win you the game. Rather than that Mirror Force, which you damn well know, if your opponent removes your other back row, is going to be completely and utterly worthless. How about you make that Mirror Force into an important Floodgate or an important removal that's just as important as all the other trap cards you have set, so if your opponent does remove the other stuff, you don't just lose the game outright, because you damn well know that Mirror Force is the weakest trap card on your field. The second argument I always read for this card is my boss monster is already going to win me the game by itself. My Floodgate/stun monster is already going to win the game for me, so I don't need any other back row other than back row that protects my one monster. And that's what Mirror Force is there for, to protect my one monster from being destroyed when my opponent tries to swing into it. Now honestly, this is probably true. If you're able to defend your stun monster or your floodgate monster or whatever it is, you're probably going to win the game. But I don't really see how this means you need to run Mirror Force, because you could replace that Mirror Force with any other disruption/removal card, and it's just done the exact same job. Protected your boss monster. You don't actually need this Mirror Force to do so. The only thing this Mirror Force is there for is adding the risk of your opponent activating an Imperm, a Chalice, a Book of Moon, or whatever it is that makes it so that your main boss monster becomes inactive, and now you have no disruption at all because you've just played Mirror Force. If you're playing any other disruption, it protects your boss monster still the same way that Mirror Force does, but it also adds the benefit of if something happens to that boss monster, you're still going to have disruption. Basically, in summary, stop playing Mirror Force because that card is complete and utter garbage. Alright guys, that's going to do it for the first installment of this series. Let me know down below which card I should talk mad shit about next time, as there are plenty of cards to target, so if there's anything you want me to target in particular, feel free to leave that down below. Also remember, as this is the first installment, I would appreciate any sort of feedback about this video, whether that be things you liked, things you disliked, or things you want to see more of. I am going to start putting a bit more effort into these particular videos. That will be a bit more effort than some of my other standard content. It's doing stuff that I don't normally do, things like random ass skits or just a little bit of over editing, stuff like that. So if there's anything you particularly enjoyed, let me know down below. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, hope to see you in the next one. If you did enjoy, remember to leave a like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff, as that definitely tells me I should do more installments. And yeah, thank you all for watching, hope to see you in the next one. Laters.
Hey, big brother, can I watch SpongeBob?
Shut up, Mokuba. I'm busy flagging YouTube videos to compensate for the fact that I have an extremely small penis.
Oh.